Hey pups, RP here, and I am back with another r/entitled parents video, and I can imagine you guys really enjoyed the last one, so I decided to make another one. Plus, it was kinda hard to find entertaining stories. Hopefully these ones will suffice. Now then, with that out of the way, let's begin the r/entitled parents reading. The first story we have is called Entitled Parent Demands Me to Give Her Son My 3DS Game. EM is entitled Mom, EC entitled Third Greatest Child, me, do I even need to explain this? So about 2 years ago when I was a preteen, my whole family went to McDonald's after a long day on the road. So we go in and sit down at a table, as my mom knew what I liked. The extravaganza begins. There was a kid and his mom at the table behind me. Note, this was a big McDonald's, and the ordering area had a half wall separating it from the seating area, so my parents didn't hear all this go down. Entitled Child, looking over the sea, watching me play Pokemon Omega Ruby on my 3DS.
Mommy, can I have that game?
I wasn't too concerned as I assumed he wanted a copy of the game. But boy was I wrong. He wanted the game cartridge. Entitled Mom gets up, walks over to me, and says, "Give my son that game card." Me. No, it's my game. Entitled Child.
I want it! Mommy said I could have it!
So this mom pulls out the excuse that everyone knows, the subreddit knows all too well. My son's been getting good grades recently, given the game, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. Me. No! So this woman started going with the whole, "Stop giving me an attitude, young man" bullcrap. Now, I'm an introvert who hates social interactions. I feel your pain. So I was stressed out about all of this, but I had no problem as a kid standing up for myself in stupid situations like this. So then, yes, even more insane crap, she, in a last-ditch attempt to get me the game or make someone else come over and get the game for her bratty kid, tries to pull, "You're not giving him the game because he's black." Is she really pulling the race card here? Saying, "Oh, you're not giving my kid that game because he's of a different skin color." Bitch, this ain't got nothing to do with skin color! Your son just wants the game. Can't you just go to freaking Walmart and buy it your damn self? Please, and not harass people to buy or just to give away the game? Like, oh my god, this woman's logic. I was scared out of my mind, as me and my family are Republicans in a very democratic town. So I learned at a very young age that being called racist, regardless of whether or not you were or not, I'm not, I respect other cultures, was no good, so I was mortified. So eventually when she saw my family start to pick up their food, to walk back to our tables, she knew she was screwed. She grabbed her food and son, and went to the very farthest table away from us, while muttering something underneath her breath, and giving me some nasty looks. My parents never found out about this as I never told them, and they didn't see or hear it happen. This woman's logic, pulling the race card saying, "You're racist because you won't give my kid something because he is of a different skin color than you are," is just, oh my god. Her logic saying someone is racist because they won't give her son something because he's black is probably the stupidest SJW thing someone could pull in their life. I mean, being racist is one thing. Saying someone is racist because they won't give your entitled little crotch goblin what they want is beyond stupid for me. But hey, you didn't give in, and good for you. This next story is called Mommy, I Want the Nutella. I mean, honestly, I can't blame people for wanting Nutella. Nutella's good. It's delicious. It's a hazelnut spread, but it's also chocolate. So this happened half an hour ago. I think you all know what EKEM and me means. C is the cashier. I was shopping at a supermarket. I picked up the last Nutella glass in the store, and behind me, I hear a kid scream, entitled Kid.
Mommy, that man got the last glass of Nutella! I want the Nutella!
I'm thinking, here she comes. EM,
Excuse me, can
me. I won't let her finish and just say, no. Entitled Mom looks confused and goes on, "Hey, you don't need to." I shut her off again. What don't you understand of the word no? I don't care if you're a single mom, your kid deserves this, he has good grades, or anything else you want to tell me. I just don't care. This is my Nutella, and you won't get it. And before you start screaming, right above your head is a security camera, so you better think twice what you want to do.
EM, how dare you speak to me like this?
Damn, she must be really stupid. I can agree with you there, man. I can totally agree with you there. In the next moment, the cashier comes in, and I'm thinking about how she is going to lie and the bullshit she will tell the cashier. Cashier, ma'am, leave now or I'm calling the cops. I have to say I was surprised. That was something I didn't expect. EM, how dare you? She turns around and immediately shuts up. Cashier, leave now or I'll have to call the cops. You know very well that you got banned from the store last week, so you shouldn't even be here. I couldn't help myself and started laughing. So EM grabbed EK and left shouting, I will never buy in this shitty store again! The cashier shouts after her. Is that a promise? After that I continued shopping, and when I was buying my stuff, C told me that she got banned because she did some similar stuff last week, and they had to call the police for disturbance and breaking some stuff. She's looking that this isn't reason to throw people in jail in Germany, but she will still get to court and will have to pay a fine. Whoa, okay, the fact that she was actually banned in the first place and should not have been in that store, that does make it really justified, to be honest. Like, I get this person was kind of rude, but honestly, he has read this subreddit a whole lot, or she, or whoever has the account. But back on topic, they really do know all the ropes of the entitled parent and everything, but just, oh boy. This one was a hell of a lot of fun to read. Short as it was, this was actually pretty fun. And it's like, I already know the strict is going on, your child got good grades, she deserves it, blah 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 blah. But you know what? This is my stuff, I'm paying for it with my money, go somewhere else and buy it. I mean, that'd be kind of like my reaction, only I would be a little bit more polite at first. And then if they start like causing shit, I would be like, bitch, my stuff, my money, I'm buying it, fuck off. But honestly, why was she in the store to begin with? She was banned from it for maybe having similar stuff, but in all honesty, I don't know if the story is real or not. I would take some of these stories with a grain of salt, but they are pretty entertaining to read, honestly. This last story is a long one, and a very popular one at that too. And it is titled, Entitled Aunt Tries to Steal My Computer and Hits My Mom. Oh boy, this is gonna be a long one. Apologies for spelling mistakes and grammar mistakes. English is not my first language. No, you're good there, my dude. This is a pretty long one, but I believe it's worth it. Me, the sexy beast writing this story. Oh boy. Oh wow. We're starting off good here today. EA is entitled Aunt, EK entitled Kid, Mom, I'll leave you to figure that one out. Alright, now the code words are all figured out. Let us begin. So, a little bit of background first. EA and my mom used to get along good. Well, as good as two sisters usually get on. But when EA had a kid, almost all contact was dropped between them. And now she only calls my mom to ask for a small loan of insert large amount of money here. Is she Donald Trump in disguise? Or other favors like her driving down to look after EK for a day. She lives over 4 hours away. But you can't stay the night as I don't have a room. And gets offended when my mom declines. Anyway, so as a sort of olive branch, my mom got quite ill a few months prior. And had one of those moments where she didn't want any regrets when she died. My mom invited EA and her kid around for a few nights, so they can catch up and whatnot. So I'm waiting at the door, the car pulls up out front, and I open the door when she rings the bell. Me, opens the door. Hi, Auntie Mar. EA, hold this. Shoves the bag in my face, which I take. I kind of write this off since it was a 4-hour journey, with a most likely screaming child. My mom and EA proceed to exchange pleasantries, but I notice my mom is doing basically all the niceties. How's the journey, etc. Not really important to the story, I just like to show that she's not a nice lady. Anyway, a few minutes go by, I made some tea, and a hot chocolate for EK. He didn't ask for it, I was just being nice. EK,
it's cold.
It's steaming on the top, so I know he's lying. Me, laughs awkwardly and sits down. EK blinks at me.
It's still cold.
At this point, I realize he's not joking. Me, EK, I can see the steam. It's not cold. EA, oh, he just watched Ratatouille. For those of you who don't know, Ratatouille is an animated film about a chef rat, and he's trying to be like the name of some character from the film. Be a dear and remake one for him. Side note, from what I remember, his character never says the food's cold. But I could be wrong. I kind of sit still for a bit, not sure if she's serious. EA, now please, laughs at EK, who gleefully holds up his cup. Now it should be noted at this point that my mom let it happen, since she was desperate to get on with her sister, but that will change later, don't worry. Me knowing my mom wants this to work out, sure, whatever. I go into the kitchen and sit on the mug out of view, rattling around with spoons and jugs, and brings the same hot chocolate back. The kid is fine with it, but EA? Oh no. EA, you didn't remake that! I just saw you put it on the side and bring it back out! EK stops drinking.
Mommy, I want a hot one!
EA, don't worry, honey. You'll get a hot one. At this point, I'm just annoyed. The kid was fine with it. EA was just being a dick. Me, well, the microwave is in there. Motions towards the kitchen. Knock yourself out. So I don't cause a scene, I leave the room and go upstairs to my room. Now recently, I started playing a new game on my PC called BioShock 2. For those who don't know, it's a horror game that takes place underwater. Now a key point to both this story and the game is in the game there are little girls who run around called Little Sisters. And their job is to collect resources from dead bodies around various game levels. Each one is protected by a huge man in a diving suit, known as Big Daddies, which are usually referred by the Little Sisters as Daddy or Mr. Bubbles, for whatever reason, I don't know. And in the second game, you play as one of these Big Daddies and have to defend these little girls, whilst they harvest the resources. If you played the game or are super intelligent, you probably know where this is going. Anyway, so I boot up the game and begin playing. A few minutes pass, and I assume EK gets bored, because I hear him scampering upstairs, and, without knocking, enters my room. Me, knowing the game is quite gruesome and I shouldn't play it in front of him, pauses the game. Hey! Could you please knock next time?
EK, I don't have to knock at home.
Me, you're not at home. EK, ignoring this.
What are you playing?
Me, an adult game?
EK, but you're not an adult.
Me, aha, you got me. I don't like him much, but I get he's a kid, and although he's annoying as hell, I do recognize that I've got to bear with him a little bit, since he's only about 5 or 6, and doesn't really know any better than to be annoying and squeaky.
EK, can you play some, please?
Me, not over here, mate. As I said, it's an adult game. He storms out, slamming the door behind me. I was a bit confused since I, although annoyed, understood why I wasn't allowed to play certain games when I was his age. A few months pass, and this is where it gets a tad unbelievable, so fair enough if you want to call BS. In the game, I set the little sister down and she begins harvesting the body, and several enemies attack, attempting to get the little sister. Just as I hear footsteps coming up the stairs, I have a little eye roll, as I know exactly what's about to happen. It's EA. She stands outside my door for a few seconds. I assume thinking of something to say, but I give it no thought. Just as she's about to walk in, without knocking might I add, the little sister in the game gets attacked and lets out a high-pitched, "Daddy!" asking me, her guardian, for help. Now at the time, I really didn't think much of it, as I know fully well what I'm doing. Whereas all EA knows, at this point, is that I'm a 16-year-old boy, and she knows full well what most 16-year-old boys are motivated by. EA banging her hand on the door.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Me, huh? EA barges into my room, which, if she thought I was really doing that thing guys do, is pretty creepy.
What the fuck? Just show my angel!
Me pauses the game. Oh, he asked to see the game, and I said no since it's an 18.
Don't lie to me, you little shit! He just came downstairs crying because you were playing an adult thing in front of him!
Me, what? EA, this is a game! EA.
I just heard a woman moaning in here! Don't lie to me!
Me, what you heard was a character in the game. If you sit down, I'll show you. At this point, EK is at the door and wanders in. EK points to the pause screen.
That's it!
Me, I'll play some of it for you to prove it's not porn if you just sit down. Gestures to the bed. I'd like to point out that I wasn't being aggressive during all this. She was screaming at me, and I was talking normally, and I'm actually just angrily saying what the original poster said. I wrote into... I am so sorry. I am being random here. Both of them take a seat on my bed. Me, You might want to tell EK to leave. It's a grown-up game. EA, still angry, but a little quieter.
If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for him.
Me, realizing that didn't actually make much sense, plays the game anyway. Big mistake. Now, I understand that I wasn't smart in this situation and didn't really think it through. I then proceed to show her and her little brat about 2 minutes of me blowing enemies' heads off with a shotgun and a huge drill. Did I mention before it was gruesome? I paused, turned around, and realized my mistake. EA looked mortified. However, EK looked fine.
EA, what kind of sick porn is that?
I was surprised. Surely she couldn't be that stupid. I was expecting her to flip out because I showed it in front of her kid. But no, she still thought it was some kind of kink I had. But why wouldn't you, eye roll? Me. EA, it's clearly not porn. EA.
I'm telling your mother right now, and we're taking your Xbox right now as compensation.
I decided not to point out that it was a PC, not an Xbox. EA points to my monitor and holds out her hand like she expects to be able to carry it like that, and that I just give it over. Me. What the fuck? No way!
EK, I want it, Mommy!
EA, you can have it, sweetie. To me.
Give it now!
Me. No, get the fuck out of here, crazy lady! EA tries to grab the monitor, and I smack her arm away. EA.
Did you just hit my child, you fat slob?
Me. Fuck off now! EA storms downstairs, dragging EK by the wrist, and I hear her yelling at my mom downstairs, calling her a bitch and whatnot for letting me have a computer for that filth. And I hear a thud and rush downstairs, worried. Luckily it was only her entitled kid having a tantrum on the floor. I'm watching from the staircase, and EA hasn't noticed me yet. EA.
What kind of shitty parenting are you doing? I demand to have his Xbox and we're sleeping in his room tonight.
Mom, look, can everyone just please calm down? My aunt slaps my mom. This is where I lose my shit. Now, I'm 6'1" and am taller than my aunt by about a foot. I'm also not particularly muscly, but I am quite big. And when I'm wearing the correct clothes, I can look like I am. Me, emerging from the staircase. Out. Now. EA, ignoring what I said.
And you! Listen here, bud.
Out. Now.
What?
Me. Get the fuck out of my house now. And if you come back, I'll call the police. At this point, I'm about 2 feet away from her, and she realizes exactly how tall and supposedly muscly I am. It's also worth noting that I never touch her or her son in a violent way, but she didn't know that. EA.
You can't do that!
Me. I can! You and your little shit stain you call a son, get out of my house right now or I'll make you!
EA. We're family!
I was shocked at this. Like, how can she consider making that excuse when my mom is currently crying with a big red mark on her cheek? Me. Get out now! EA, realizing she's beaten, begins grabbing her things and tells EK to get his shoes on so she can tie them on. Me. Nope! Out! Points to the door. EA.
Yes! I'm getting his shoes on, you dick!
Me. Put them on in the car now! Fuck off! EA moves towards the door and I open it for her. She's grabbing EK's wrist and is practically dragging him along whilst he's wailing that he wants my game. I throw a bag she forgot onto the ground and slam the door behind me. I immediately check up on my mom, who's sobbing quietly, clutching her face. She was fine, and I think it was mostly shock, but she was understandably devastated. She spoke to me later that night and gave me a huge hug, thanking me. Needless to say, we didn't hear from entitled aunt for several months, until she apologized a few weeks ago, and proceeded to ask for money. My mom blocked her. Thanks for reading / listening to this whole thing if you did. I'd love to say the story is fake, but unfortunately it's not, and I really am related to that asshole. Edit. Since everyone was asking, I'll just put it here. My mom's fine now. She was diagnosed with cancer and went through chemo, so she wasn't herself for a while. Normally she had to hit her back, but she was mostly upset not because the visit was a failure, but more because of what the visit represented. She's fine now. Whoa, holy shiitake mushrooms and chicken wings, boy. Are you sure this wasn't my Aunt Heather in someone else's house? Now, I've explained about my Aunt Heather in several past videos, if I remember correctly. But this fucking woman takes the damn cake. Like, first of all, letting your little brat be a little brat and just, like, giving in to his every freaking whim. Just, oh wow. Oh wow. And that's not the worst part of it. First of all, this woman's fucking stupid. Second of all, she doesn't care about her sister. She only cares about money and her little crotch goblin of a child. Third of all, she's a bad mother and a terrible sister and a horrible aunt. Like, she thought BioShock was porn. It's a fucking rated M game, for Christ's sakes. I mean, what? Did she let her son play GTA in fucking Fortnite? Like, why? Seriously, why would you let your kids play Grand Theft Auto? It's rated M for mature. It's not a kid's game. It's not a very nice game for children. But holy crap, when she did not care about her sister who was dying of cancer, possibly dying of cancer, and just going through chemo, she just wanted her money, her inheritance, and just, wow. I mean, sisters, they get along as well as sisters do, but that kind of draws the line. I'm glad the OP of this story stood up to her and told her to fuck off and to never come back. And it's a good thing they wrote her out of their lives, because if that were me, I'd do the same thing. Oh boy, this is a very fun episode of r/entitled parents. Now, I'm only gonna do these like every once in a while, maybe every now and again, but if you guys want to see more of them, please let me know in the comments below. And if you have an entitled parent story, please share in the comments below as well. And if you like this video, be sure to make a punch that like button. If you're new here, also be sure to subscribe to the Pepper Pack today. And also a huge shout out to my patron Patreon for their support. Thank you so very much. It is very much appreciated. All of my social links and whatnot are down below in the description. And as always, I will see you later, pups. Stay awesome, stay strong, and stay beautiful.